The Gorosei are humans who have eaten demonic fruits or demons disguised as humans. The answer to that question is much more interesting and absolutely more shocking than those two options. What Oda is preparing is simply magnificent. In this video, besides understanding what the transmutation circles generated by the five elders are, we will also see what these characters actually are and the absolute power they wield. Everything we imagined about One Piece may be about to change. Could this be a new magical system in this universe? A new power system beyond fruits and hockey? An ancient magic forgotten for 800 years? Let's imagine you're lost in thought in your family's library, browsing through various shelves, finding several history books that marked your childhood. Among the books, you come across a collection with a set of mysterious symbols scattered on their covers. Unbeknownst to you, you have just stumbled upon a collection of ancient tomes known as grimoires. If you don't know, grimoires are medieval collections of spells, rituals, and magical incantations. Such books contain astrological correspondences, lists of angels and demons, instructions on how to cast spells and conjure supernatural entities. Could this be an element that could exist in the world of One Piece, granting such powers to those who possess them? This is what Sanjay Garcia Saturno's powers, and possibly the upcoming Gorosei, seem to indicate. Just so we understand, there are many different types of grimoires, but for this theory itself, we need to delve into two well-known ones that seem to have been used by Oda as a reference, or at least as an aesthetic reference to portray in his manga. We're talking about the Keys of Solomon and the Book of Ceremonial Magic. First, let's dive into the pages of the Keys of Solomon and realize how this book seems indeed too related to the Gorosei. More specifically, the grimoire. This grimoire was mysteriously created in the mid-10th century. This set of books discusses and retells the experiences of King Solomon and the ring he used to seal and command demons. And perhaps you've already understood how we can relate it to One Piece. Each of these beings has their seal, their associated sigil, which can be used to invoke and control the specific demon, and consequently, each of them possesses unique attributes and powers. The first sigil we'll see is that of Astaroth, described as a being who, for others, teaches science and craftsmanship, can make men invisible, and lead them to hidden treasures. Even its own summoning circle refers to Garcia Saturnos. And do you know who Astaroth's sworn enemy was? The angel Reel, the angel who symbolizes truth and liberation. A very clear reference to Luffy and Nika. What follows is even more intriguing because the other sworn enemy of Astaroth was simply Saint Bartholomew, said to be someone capable of resisting his terrible temptations, something we saw Bartolomeo Kuma himself do in relation to J. Garcia. So it seems that the master of sciences, Astaroth, and his enemy Saint Bartholomew may have a very deep connection with One Piece. Enjoying it so far? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps. Let's then delve even deeper into this library. Let's immerse ourselves even more in the pages of this grimoire and realize the vastness of relationships with One Piece. The next sigil we will observe and describe is that of Buer, the great president of Hell. He is said to be someone who is capable of curing all illnesses, especially those of humans. Now, his symbol has something that refers to some familiar detail that we have already seen in the pages of One Piece. This symbol that we notice here is almost exactly the same as what often appears connected to the lost century of One Piece, and of course, Kuma's paw print. The final sigil, before we proceed to the conclusion of the theory, belongs to Murmur, another demon duke mysteriously associated with a griffin. What draws much attention in his symbol is this crescent moon shape, which is extremely familiar to us. It is exactly the same shape present in the emblem of the Marines. Could this demon Murmur be connected to One Piece on even deeper levels? Not to mention that the name Murmur could have something to do with Emu, and even the association with the griffin could have something to do with Shanks, the user of the griffin sword. Without further deep speculation on this sigil, because it is not as grounded as the rest of the video. So let's move on to some absolutely important information about the grimoires and their demons, and how everything can tie in with the story of One Piece and the introduction of a new magic system within this universe. Following the writings of the grimoire The Keys of Solomon, we are informed that such demonic creatures were controlled through the power of a certain ring that was conferred to King Solomon by the famous Archangel Michael. This magical ring allowed Solomon to command legions of demon dukes and lords. In other words, he had various demons under his command. He was able to control these creatures. And this relationship makes me think that Emu has the ability to control demons, and that is precisely what gives him the power to sit on the throne that supposedly would be empty. Is it possible that Emu possesses a ring like Solomon's, and that this artifact allows him to control the demonic Gorosei? Blackbeard's own rings have been the subject of much speculation over the years, and since he knows many things that we do not know about this world, could he have the lost knowledge of the abilities of this ancestral ring? Has his fascination with archaeology and history led him to know this secret that Emu-sama himself wants to hide? And if not exactly following this issue of the rings, I think even the use of grimoires as a kind of ancient power system in this universe is viable due to the diabolical nature of Emu and the Gorosei.